Welcome back to Let's Cook Stuff. You know, when we decide what we cook here, we have a rigorous, scientifically engineered process to determine what dish we're going to make next. Now, in case you were wondering where Snarfy was, he actually left. He said he had some work to do, but he wouldn't really tell me what was going on. So hopefully we'll see him back next time.
Now, most people who get pizza do it in one of two ways. Either they get delivery pizza or they go pick it up as a carryout. Some people can't wait to get home to actually eat it.
Even if we do make pizza at home, we tend to take a lot of shortcuts. Today we're going to make everything from scratch. Today's topping, we're going to use pepperoni. For our pizza, we'll also need tomato paste, yeast, Italian seasoning, parsley, salt and pepper, vinegar, flour, cheese, garlic powder, olive oil, and some sugar. For our tools, we'll need a 1-quart saucepan, mixing bowl, spatula, round pizza pan, baker's parchment, a fork, measuring cup, and a hot pot holder. To start our pizza crust, we're going to put some yeast and some of the sugar into the bowl here, and you'll notice I'm kind of eyeballing this. You want a little over a teaspoon of yeast and about a tablespoon of sugar. The sugar activates the yeast and the warm water makes it happen faster. You're going to mix it together just a little bit and then let it sit for about 5 minutes. Now that it's had a chance to rest, we're going to add some olive oil, about a tablespoon or two to this, some garlic powder and salt, and then the flour. We'll start mixing our crust together. You want maybe a tablespoon of garlic powder in here too. It just makes it taste a little bit more flavorful than plain old bread, which is nice. 2 cups of flour is what we're going to add to start with. You're going to use more flour as we go, but this is just to start the dough out. And we'll get a little extra because I don't quite get 2 full cups in there. Mix it till it's a good consistency. You may need to add a little more water or more flour depending on how this turns out. And you can kind of eyeball it. We'll see what it looks like when we're all said and done here. Okay, now we're going to let this raise for about 15 minutes. I'm going to cover it with the baker's parchment to keep anything from getting on it. We're going to start making sauce now on the stove. Into the saucepan I put 1 can of tomato paste, which you saw, and 2 cans worth of water. We'll add in the spices and olive oil here. We'll have about a tablespoon of olive oil to it, and another tablespoon of vinegar. This seems a little counterintuitive, but vinegar actually makes a great addition to tomato sauce because it gives it a little more flavor and kick. Some of our Italian seasoning as well. Just a few shakes, and some of the parsley. Now we're not done yet. We're going to put in some of the salt, pepper, and garlic in here too to give it some more Italian flavor. Now this is on medium-high heat. We're going to stir it a little bit and then let it sit on medium-high heat for about 10 minutes. Then we can turn it down. Make sure to cover it because tomato-based products tend to pop and cause more stainage than any other kind. Now that our dough's risen a little bit, we're going to put some more flour on and knead it. It's kind of like making bread, but this will be a little more compact. This is why I said you're going to need some more flour later. This keeps your fingers from sticking to the dough as you knead it. So you twist and push, twist and push. Get a little more flour in there. You're going to need to do that because parts of it will have more coating than other parts. Just do this for about 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to let it raise a little bit more here in a minute. Hi, didn't notice you there. I've got the pan. Now it's time to put the dough on the pan. Remember to put the parchment on top first. This keeps it from sticking. And it's all in all a cleaner option. Now, we've raised a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and put a little more flour on top to help us spread out the dough. Now you can use a rolling pan if you prefer, a rolling pin rather, but I usually just use my hands to spread this out into a circular shape. Once we're done spreading this out, the oven's already preheated to 425. We're going to put this in the oven and let it pre-bake. Now, why do you pre-bake the pizza crust, you might ask? If we were to put the sauce on right now, it would soak into the crust and everything would be all mushy, and that's definitely not what you want. Nobody likes mushy pizza. Not even dogs. We're going to open the oven and put the crust on in now. We're going to wait about 10 minutes. It's time to take the crust out of the oven. It doesn't look much different because of the flour, but it is. We're going to spoon some of the sauce on and spread it around with our spatula. Depending on how much sauce you like, you can save some for later or use it all right now. And then first we'll put our cheese on top. Some people like a little cheese. In this household we use all the cheese. Similarly, we are using all the pepperoni. This is more like a double deckeroni pepperoni pizza here. Now you can use other toppings, of course, as I'm sure everyone knows, or just have cheese. Whatever you got in the fridge laying around will probably work. Once we're done with this, we're going to put the pizza back in the oven and let it bake for another 15 minutes. The crust is already partially done, so we're just waiting for the cheese to melt and everything to kind of blend together. And looks like we're all done here. Take this pizza out of the oven. Now the next step would be to cut the pizza. If you feel like it, you can do this yourself, or you can hire a trained professional. And there we have it. Our pizza's ready to go. The finished product. It's a little harder work, but the results are high quality and definitely worth it.